everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to do something I have never done before. I didn't even know this existed till I went looking for something to do this weekend. I'm going to go to the Skyscraper Museum in New York City. I didn't know that was a thing. How cool is this going to be? Let's go see what they have. How tall is super tall? The Skyscraper Museum sets its bar at 1,250 feet or 380 meters, which is the height of the Empire State Building. This image is comparing the Eiffel Tower on the left, then the Empire State Building, the original World Trade Center, the Twin Towers, then the one on the right is Bruj Khalifa. This is chronologically all of the super tall buildings. It starts here in 1889 with the Eiffel Tower, followed by the Empire State Building in 1931, then the Twin Towers in 1971 and 1973 respectively, and so on, and so on, and so on. What's the most recent? These ones at the end don't have dates next to them, so I wonder if they're still being built. But this last is dated for 2020. So I just learned something really interesting. Wind is the biggest load on a building. So what they'll do is they'll put scale models in a wind tunnel to test how load-bearing it will be during a windstorm. Makes a lot of sense, but who knew? What we have here is the actual World Trade Center wind tunnel model. These models were basically put into a wind tunnel to test how the Twin Towers would hold up during windstorms and in actual windy conditions. We do get hurricanes up here in New York, so it was stress tested in a wind tunnel to make sure that the towers would actually be able to handle the forces of those winds. These towers are the actual models that were used. This is Chengdu Greenland Tower. These are some images of the process of that tower being built. This compares a tube in a tube, which is one kind of tower, to an all-glass tower. It shows side by side some of the benefits versus drawbacks of one type of tower versus the other. So you can see the HVAC cooling load is less. Solar radiation is decreased, and natural lighting is okay. It's not overlit, but there are some underlit areas. This is an example of a tube-in-the-tube style of building. This is a model of the Civic Tower, which is in the central business district of China. This tower is 1,732 feet high, or 108 stories. This is a model of the top of One World Trade. Something that's really interesting about One World Trade is that it's 1,776 feet high. And if that number sounds familiar to you, that's also the year that America gained its independence. These models are so detailed. They even put little people in the model. There's little people in there doing business, having meetings, or going to a conference. Look at that. Look at all the people. This picture is of the New York skyline, taken from Jersey City back in 1921. This is about the 10 tallest buildings back in 1900. At that time, the tallest was Park Row at 391 feet, then the Manhattan Life Insurance Building at 348 feet, the St. Paul Building at 315 feet, and so on. But the tallest was 391 feet, and the shortest of the 10 was 273 feet. If you're wondering what the tallest skyscraper is today, it's this one, Bruj Khalifa in Dubai.
What a neat museum that was. I had never been there. I never even heard of it before. And there's a museum dedicated to skyscrapers. I mean, they said that the skyscrapers they include are super tall buildings, which they classify as buildings that are 1,200 feet and higher. There are other people that will classify a super tall building as 1,000 feet, but they said that that would have expanded the exhibit too much. And there is plenty of super tall buildings that meet that threshold. So we got to see what the current tallest building is and the history of these tall buildings and when they were going up and the technology that's being used to make them. Like, I didn't know that they were putting models in wind tunnels to stress test. I mean, it makes perfect sense. It's brilliant. But I had no idea. Like, why would I know that? But now I do. File that into Mercury's random knowledge. Okay, got it. So if you want to check this out, it is absolutely free right now. You just need to make a reservation online ahead of time to book a time slot, but there's no charge to go. And I will put a link in the description to their website. So, next time you're in New York and you want to learn more about the great buildings that make up my town, stop by. And until next time, stay inspired by everybody. Take care.